So you want to buy a Dyna?
Ooh.
Here are 5 reasons why you should buy a Dyna. Alright, so my first reason why you should buy a Dyna, they're just beautiful bikes. This one behind me, just look at the damn thing.
So the Dyna is bold, unmistakable, and in many ways it's timeless. Like really, these are the type of motorcycles you could just sit in your garage and stare at for hours and not get bored. And in my honest opinion, I think the Dyna is the best looking motorcycle Harley Davidson has ever produced, right next to the FXR. I titled this video 5 reasons why you should buy a Dyna, but I might even give you 6. I could even give you 7, but the only way you're gonna find out is if you stick around to the end of this video. So that brings us to my next reason. These bikes are actually pretty easy to work on. You know what I mean? I'm not the most mechanically inclined person out there, but one thing I can say, these motorcycles are not overly complicated. They lack the sophisticated electronics that a lot of the newer bikes have. Everything's out there, easily accessible. And when it comes down to it, it's just an air-cooled V-twin, you know what I mean? Harley Davidson produced the Dyna for over 26 years, so with that being said, there's no shortage of parts whatsoever. A lot of the aftermarket parts and OEM parts run the years 91 to 2017, so if you ever want to move on to a different Dyna, you know, a lot of the parts are easily interchangeable, which is nice. You don't have to buy all new parts for whatever bike.
So Harley Davidson and Porsche are actually really similar. They both like to refine rather than reinvent, except Porsche actually does it. Harley's like, just paint it a different color.
Reason number 3, most important, these bikes are actually really fun to ride. You know, it doesn't matter if you ride them fast or slow, but if you're the type of person that likes to beat the crap out of your bikes, these things are good, proper fun. Pretty much all Harleys are loud and obnoxious. You know, being loud, doing burnouts, and being a menace to society, it actually runs deep in Harley Davidson's brand, and it's been a part of the culture for years. Being loud and obnoxious, it's one of my favorite things to do.
You're always ripping down here doing wheelies and stuff.
Yeah.
I live right in the corner.
Yeah.
It's kind of obnoxious, man. I got a family.
Yeah.
I got a kid.
Okay.
I mean, can you find somewhere else?
It's just a great platform. Whether you like Harleys or not, it's kind of hard to deny. The power is usable, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if the bike has 60 horsepower or 120 horsepower. You can have a lot of fun on these motorcycles anywhere. These bikes are nothing to run home about, especially in their stock format, but you know, you tinker with them a little bit, you can make them a lot better pretty easily. And all in all, it boils down to the rider, because you can ride these things like an absolute animal. Harley people really know how to get down. It's not all saggy leather tits and old guys, but Dino Culture is a worldwide phenomenon, and these people like to freaking party. Especially with the rise of Harley stunt culture, never has there ever been a better time to be on one of these bikes. There's a ton of awesome events to go to. There's ride outs, there's the really famous ones like Daytona Bike Week, Sturgis, Laconia Bike Week, my favorite Indian Larry Block Party. But Harley people really know how to get down and have a good time, and that's what's so great about it. So piggybacking onto my next point, these bikes are actually a blast to customize. There's a ton of aftermarket parts out there. Not many people buy these bikes just to leave them stock. And a stock Dyna is almost like a blank canvas, because I don't care what anyone says, the bike you ride says a lot about you. Part of the whole experience with these bikes is making them better. You know, with just a few parts, you can really transform the way these things look and ride. Especially when you get into cams, big bore kits, aftermarket transmission, suspension, all that fun stuff. Harley Davidson is an iconic American brand, and they are dying a slow and painful death. That is because boomers. And the boomers, I hate to say it, but they're going away. And we need to continue their legacy. And the only way to continue the boomer legacy is us Dyna Bros. We are the next generation of boomers. And in order to be a boomer, you have to act like a boomer. Oh, that guy wants me to do a wheelie. He just gave me the thumbs up. The funny thing is, I used to ride by that guy all the time on my Supermo. I'd always scrape the fender for him. I don't know if he knows this is me, but... That was awesome. But I couldn't scrape the fender from that time, but maybe next time. These bikes are also really collectible in many ways. I mean, just look at how f***ing pretty this thing is. For those of you that don't know, 2017 was the last year of the Dyna. After that, they went extinct. Harley said bye-bye. And right after that, these bikes sort of became a hot commodity. A lot of Dynas are very similar, if not they're all the same in some little way. But the thing that makes them really collectible, if it's one thing that Harley does really well, it's their factory paint schemes. They do a really good job with their bikes, and it's one of the key takeaways of what makes these bikes so beautiful. Harley Davidson is an iconic American brand with a lot of history, and the Dyna is the definition of a cult classic. And I can attest to this, but they're really easy to get obsessed with. I'm gonna whip around, try a little knee knocker. I'm very much a novice when it comes to the Harley stunt riding. I just really haven't had the time this year to put in this. Tracing it. Woo! So that pretty much wraps up my video of 7 reasons why you should buy a Dyna. But if you're wondering why I'm riding a different bike, it's sort of a long story. I broke the other bike, and I'm out here trying to make a video of why you should buy a Dyna, but I'm out here breaking Dynas. So yeah, what the fuck? I don't know what happened, but I broke my throttle cable, and now I have to ride this bike. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I have a huge soft spot for these bikes. I've owned like 50 of these things, no joke, over the past years. I think they're great motorcycles. I love the style. They're really fun to ride. They're beautiful bikes, and you know, they got a lot of character. But if you're still unsure, check out my other video, 5 reasons why you shouldn't buy a Dyna. I get pretty crazy in that video, and honestly, I was a little mean, and I kind of regret saying some of the things I said about the Dyna. I thought it was a little disrespectful. So if you want to check that video out, let me know what you think. Thanks again.